Hi and welcome to Tarp Movies. In this video I like to show you the Egyptian bow drill technique, at least the way I'm doing it. And if you like and if you are interested, please join me. The materials I'm using fit perfect together. I have an hazel spindle, a poplar board, and this special tinder can has the option to use it as a handhold for the bow drill. The bow has a length of about an arm, which is from my shoulder up to my fingertips. The first thing we have to do is find the right position from the spindle on the fireboard. I recommend usually about a spindle diameter from the edge of the fireboard, and the same from the next hole or from the hole next to it. Then I carve a little pit into it. For the pit I'm not just screwing the tip of my knife, because I want to take care to the sharpness, so I'm carving a kind of a quarter and then I'm cutting this little pit out, so I have not that much pressure on my plate. So that should be actually enough to keep the spindle there. Of course, if you have already experience with the bow drill, you can go even closer to the other holes like here, and then you waste less material. But how does the Egyptian bow drill looks like? If you search in the World Wide Web, you will find some pictures, which I cannot publish here because of the copyrights, where you have at least one hole through the middle of the spindle, and the rope of the bow goes right through it. The benefits of it are avoiding any friction problems between the rope and the spindle, and your rope will last even longer. But in my opinion, and I like to show you why, a hole is not really necessary. What I'm doing is I'm attaching the spindle to the bow line just with a simple cloth hitch. For that I'm going to the lower end of my bow. Then here I'm building the cloth hitch, and then I tied it very nice and strong right in the middle of the spindle. Next we are building on the upper side of the spindle 1, 2, 3 or even about 4 loops. So the spindle stays in the middle of the bow length, and we are doing the same on the lower side of the knot. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have something like this now. We are going over to the next step, and as you can already see, we have no tension on the spindle at all. So it makes it very easy to bring the spindle in the right position. I'm going with my foot as close as possible to the spindle, taking the bearing block or handhold. Takes not much pressure, and you can already see the smoke. The spindle is rotating very nicely, so that's about enough. Now we have to cut a notch like here into the fireboard to collect the dust and build some heat up, that we get an ember at the end. I recommend actually an angle of about 30-35 degrees for it. So I cut here a little into the fireboard and set some marks so I can see exactly where I have to carve the notch out. Look at this, today it's quite a special atmosphere up here because of the foggy weather. Here's our notch, and you can see I'm going right to the center of the spindle diameter. Here's my tinder bundle or tinder nest. At the outside I have some wood shavings, then some plant fibers, and in the center I put thistle seeds. I show you also a little trick to make life easier. I have here a kind of wall bundle which I produced out of nettle fibers. Then I'm putting it under the board. So let's get started. As I said, the nettle fiber wall. Then I'm setting the spindle in here. And then I start with low pressure. My friend Lonnie from the channel Far North and Survival is also recommended and explaining that many people who struggle with the bow drill just put too much pressure on the spindle. So just do it careful and start to move. Slowly, as I said, it takes not much pressure. You can see I have no problems at all with the spindle friction. Just have to keep the bow in an even position. It starts already to smoke, but there's no need to hurry. The dust is filling the notch, and now I give a little bit more speed on it and some pressure, not too much. Lonnie said about 80% of pure power. Oops, slipped away. Anyway, that was enough. Now we release the fireboard very careful. If you wait long enough, the ember will stick better together. And now with the plant fibers, they will start to glow as well. You can see how easy it is now to transfer my ember into the tinder bundle. And there's no hurry at all. Another little tip is don't get too close with the tinder bundle to your mouth because of the moisture of your breath. Just keep a little bit distance. Let also the environment work, the wind. Another tip is don't blow from the top into the bundle. Then you take the oxygen away, which the ember needs. Just go from the side or blow a little bit from the bottom up to the ember. If the ember is strong enough, you can also swing with your arm and use the airflow to get oxygen into it. And here we are. I'm not saying that's the best bow drill technique, because you could see you have to get used to, and you need a little experience with all the loops around the spindle and also keeping the bow in a right, even horizontal position. Here another little tip: if the cloth edge is slipping during the bow drill process, down or upwards, because you can not get him tight enough, it can be depending on the kind of rope you are using, just carve a little notch around the spindle, not too deep because you don't want to have a weak spot on it, and the knot will stay very easy right in the middle of the spindle. And again, it doesn't take much power or energy to create a bow drill ember. Otherwise you may push too much pressure on your bearing block and on your spindle. Of course, the pressure you need is depending on the spindle diameter. If you have a larger diameter, you need more pressure. My friend Lonnie from the YouTube channel Far North Bushcraft and Survival has made a video about this subject, and I'll put the link to this video beneath in the description box. If you have any questions about bow drill techniques, just leave a comment and ask. I also have made a video about 3 other bow drill techniques, and I will put the link also in the description box. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and give me a thumb up. I would be very happy, as always, if you join Thermo Movies the next time again. Tschüss, ciao, und bye bye.